Hello everyone, back tuning into Stormwatch. So it's been a very hot day across the country today. 35 degrees is our highest temperature that we've seen reported so far. Anyway, at Heathrow this afternoon, 95 Fahrenheit, and it's all very unstable this air now. Very plumy type air. And so we can expect to see thunderstorms developing this evening, overnight, and through tomorrow. Not everywhere will get these storms. A lot of places are going to miss them, but if you get them, they are going to be very heavy. They'll be intense. Could be flash flooding, severe lightning around as well, and things have already started to develop. So I'll bring you up to date with Stormwatch right now. Just to say that today's first video, been a very busy day today. The first video was the JMA update for the next 3 months. We also looked at the weather for next week to 10 days. We're going to find things cooling off over the weekend before they start hotting up again through the first week of August. And we also had a look at some festivals that will be coming up this weekend and also next weekend as well. So have a look at those 3 videos. This is update 4 for you today. So I'm going to start off with the radar picture from the Weather Outlook. Now I've got this band of heavy rain across Ireland, just beginning to moving towards Northern Ireland. Now that's a cold front. That is going to end this heat wave, but it won't end it until Friday night and into Saturday for most of us. So it's a very slow moving cold front, but behind it the air mass is a lot colder, as the name would imply. Most of the country though is in the oven at the moment, and it's been very, very hot day, and we've got these thunderstorms indicated by these bright colours now across particularly eastern parts of England. So kind of like around the York area going down into Lincolnshire, so Yorkshire, Lincolnshire. Those areas have got some very intense and violent storms. A few fringing in towards the northeast Midlands. Let's zoom in a little bit. A few going down into the northeast Midlands around Nottingham. Been some thunder there, but actually a little bit more to the northeast of the Midlands with those storms at the moment. However, there are a few more storms beginning to push out of northern parts of France. So you can see around the channel, there's some storms there. If we zoom in again, you can see these storms moving out of the channel and starting to head up towards the south coast. Those are will be further inland as they push up north. So they could affect the Midlands through the course of this evening and into the early part of the night. I think again they will be hit and miss, but there could be some storms through parts of the Midlands, particularly the south and the East Midlands, and then down into central southern parts, and generally to the west of London through the course of this evening. Here's the slot-tip pressure chart for 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So there's the cold front that's bringing the end to a heat wave eventually, but tomorrow morning it's still out in the Irish Sea. Most of the country still under these very hot conditions. We've got a convergence line that is producing these heavy showers and thunderstorms across eastern parts of the country. Then we go through to midday tomorrow. Again, that cold front making very little progress. Once again, we've got these convergence lines across eastern parts of the country. I'm not sure if I mentioned these are the fact charts, so they're the human interpretation of models by forecasters at the UK Met Office, by the way. Still these convergence lines in the east at midnight on Saturday. So again, there could be some storms across eastern parts of the country in particular. That is where we're focusing on to the thunderstorm risk with this across east parts of the country. By midnight, these cold fronts are starting to move in from the west. So by midnight, things are starting to cool down in the west. And as we go through to midday Saturday, that cold front has finally pushed across the country. It's made it across. It's in the North Sea. And we're in a very different air mass by Saturday. The temperatures will be at least 10 degrees lower, and it'll be much more comfortable across most parts of the country. And then that Sunday, it doesn't really matter to Stormwatch, but could be a bit wet and windy, actually, from the Atlantic on Sunday. Precipitation-wise, this is how the GFS is seeing things. So we can see that we've got these heavy thunderstorms in roughly the right position, actually, from GFS one across northeastern parts of England. There's those other storms beginning to move out of northern France in towards the into the south coast area around Southampton. And through the course of the night, up to midnight, we find that again those storms are trundling northwards. They're still across northeastern England. They're beginning to move out towards the North Sea, but this next batch of storms in the south and southeast starting to move up, perhaps affecting some parts of the south and the East Midlands. Through the course of the night, those storms keep rumbling away, and eventually they move in towards parts of East Anglia, South East England by 6 o'clock in the morning. And then through tomorrow morning, they're sort of through the South East, up through the East Midlands and going up towards Lincolnshire and Yorkshire once again. So there could be some quite heavy storms there. Notice East Anglia mainly dry, could turn very hot across East Anglia tomorrow. Still, that front is out across the west of Ireland, making very little progress through the course of tomorrow morning with the cold front. That's 6 o'clock in the evening. Tomorrow evening, the storm's becoming very intense across parts of northeastern England, but drying out through the Midlands. Not much in way of thunder at all through the Midlands into central southern England. East Anglia also looking mainly dry. Could be some storms clipping the very far southeast. That cold front finally beginning to make progress across Ireland, heading in towards Northern Ireland. Up to 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, so the first batch of storms moves up the eastern side, heading up to northeastern and eastern parts of Scotland. We've got this front, that's the cold front, moving in across the country. Not sure if that's bringing thunder or not. It is moving into very hot air, of course, so it may produce some heavy showers or thunderstorms, but it looks relatively weak, actually. It's struggling to get across the country, although this does blow things up again across parts of East Anglia and northeast England, interestingly. Midday on Saturday, so that could be more violent thunderstorms there on the eastern side of the country through the course of Saturday morning on that cold front, by which time it is turning a lot cooler and fresher as these much cooler upper air temperatures move in across the country. Let's have a look at some high resolution models. This is a Rhone, so this is a high res model from France. You can see this at theweatheroutlook.com. So we'll just quickly run through this. It was forecasting those storms to be developing roughly the right area through the course of the evening across parts of Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, just down into the northeastern Midlands. It fizzles those out up to 10 o'clock, and that's as far as we can go with that. Doesn't really show much coming out of northern France. We know there are a few storms already beginning to push out of northern France, so I'm not sure about that. This is the high resolution arpège model. Again, this is one. This one is coming from the Weather Outlook. So this is how things are looking with arpège at 6 o'clock in the evening. Again, roughly in the right position with that. So there's the storms there, 6 o'clock in the evening across parts of Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, down to northeast Midlands. A few more coming out of northern France, heading in towards the English Channel. Those storms push northwards and possibly affect some parts of the south and the East Midlands through the evening. This is 1 o'clock in the morning. Some storms there look as though they're across parts of the south and the East Midlands. And then through the course of tomorrow morning, those storms continue really from Lincolnshire, South Yorkshire, down into the East Midlands as well. There could be some more thunderstorms in those areas through the course of tomorrow morning. And then the storms just get more widespread through the afternoons. Actually, that's bringing quite a widespread risk of thunderstorms across eastern parts of the country through the course of tomorrow afternoon, also affecting some parts of the Midlands as well. A little bit more through southeast England, East Anglia also, so that will limit the potential for extreme heat in that southeastern corner tomorrow. Those storms turn quite intense actually by tomorrow evening, particularly focusing on the Midlands and going up towards northern England. So Midlands, northern England, in for some violent thunderstorms there if arpège is right. It all trundles up into the northeast through the course of the early hours of Friday and into Saturday, and then that Saturday morning with the cold front swinging across the country, there it goes, and that's introducing finally cooler and fresher air and bringing an end to the heat wave. Then we're going to sunshine and showers Saturday afternoon. I mean, I'll just run you on to Sunday, where we find that we've got this massive rain moving in from off the Atlantic. That's general outbreaks of rain. This is from Weather Online, so this is high resolution Euro 4 model. Just quickly run you through this. So there's the showers and storms breaking out in the east through the course of tonight. This is 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so some quite intense storms through Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, down into the Midlands as well, particularly the East Midlands. Some quite intense storms there through the second half of the night. Things do turn a bit quieter through the course of tomorrow morning, and then it all starts to liven up through the afternoon. This is further east with that storm risk, though, compared to arpege, which has it really through, particularly the Midlands and Northern England. This is more sort of east of Scotland, the far east of England, and down into East Anglia tomorrow afternoon. Fewer storms actually for kind of like the Midlands and Northern England. Some very intense rainfall being predicted there, by the way, for southeastern parts of Scotland down towards the Pennines with Euro 4. And then through the course of Saturday morning, that's a cold front swinging across the country, bringing an end to the heat wave. This is WRF from metroshield.fr. So there's the thunderstorms across parts of northeastern England. They're going down in towards the Midlands that we've got at the moment. Let's run through into the midnight period. So the storms are pushing northwards then, and they do actually become quite intense, these thunderstorms, with WRF. So they're carrying on trundling northwards up to midnight. They get out of the way, but it does pick up on more storms coming in towards parts of southeast England, and also perhaps fringing in towards the East Midlands, going up towards Lincolnshire. Some intense rainfall indicated there at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice East Anglia mainly dry, some intense thunderstorms in the southeast through the East Midlands up towards Lincolnshire tomorrow morning. That carries on, moving northwards in towards northeast England, and then things really develop through the course of tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening through northern England, and then going down into the Midlands, possibly parts of East Anglia. Some very intense storms there. When you see the red colours turning up on these charts, that really is very intense rainfall. Gradually moving onto the eastern side of the country. It does look very, very lively there for Lincolnshire and East Anglia tomorrow evening. Some really intense thunderstorms could be possible. And then through Saturday, that cold front swings across the country. Could bring some heavyish downpours of rain, but the main thing it's doing is introducing much cooler and fresher air. And then finally we've got the Halam model, and we can see that again we've got those storms around northeastern parts of England at the moment. Up to midnight it looks like that, so not as many storms with Halam overnight compared to some of the models that we've seen in this update. Looks a little bit more hit and miss. Tomorrow though, it does get things going properly across particularly the Midlands, East Midlands down to South East England, parts of East Anglia, Lincolnshire. Some intense rainfall coming through there. The storms pushing northwards and eastwards by Saturday morning, and into Saturday cooler, fresher air is heading in from the west. So if you're in the west, it doesn't look very good, the storms, really. This is a focus on the southern and eastern and northeastern part of the country. So the further east you go, the greater the risk that you're going to get some storms. At the moment, we've got the storms around Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. They're going to carry on rumbling on through the evening. Could generate more storms through central southern England towards the Midlands through the course of this evening as well, particularly the south and the East Midlands through this evening overnight. And then the trend through tomorrow is probably to produce more of those storms, especially in the afternoon and into the evening, and that will be particularly on the eastern side of the country, where these storms could become very heavy and intense and violent due to the energy that's within the atmosphere. Eventually they will all clear away. By Saturday we're into a much cooler, fresher air mass. The heat wave will be over for now, and of course it could come back next week, but that's not really for Storm Watch. Right, so that's all for now. Thanks for watching.